This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. 5 years ago, deep in a bear market, a group of traditional finance experts founded BitGet, and they've been building ever since. Now, with 20 million users worldwide, BitGet is committed to helping users trade smarter by providing a secure one-stop crypto investment solution with copy trading, future trading, and spot trading. Your security is their priority, and BitGet has one of the largest protection funds in the industry, with US $300 million to cover potential trader losses from unforeseen events that are not due to misconduct from the user or platform. BitGet wants to inspire everyone to embrace Web3, so if you're new to crypto, learn more at the BitGet Academy with free blockchain courses, crypto guides, cryptocurrency trading strategies, and more. Or for the experienced investor, trade smarter with daily access to institutional-grade crypto market intelligence and trends analysis with BitGet Research. I've put links to BitGet Research and the BitGet Academy in the show notes, so get amongst it or simply go to bitget.com. Thank you to BitGet, and now it is on with the show. And my guest today is Rena Shah. Rena is, I believe, a former petroleum engineer turned Bitcoin miner and now running strategy at Trust Machines, who, of course, are helping to build out the Bitcoin economy. Very exciting. Hey, welcome to the show, Rena.
Thank you so much, Andy. Looking forward to this.
I am too. So I think let's do what we do at the beginning of the show, Rena. It'd be great if you could introduce yourself. Love to hear a little bit about your personal and professional backstory and the lead up to you getting involved with the team at Trust Machines. Yeah, I mean, it's quite interesting. You kind of have this, petroleum engineering background, I guess. So yeah, give us a little bit of a sense of what you've been doing and why you've made the journey into Bitcoin.
Happy to. So my name is Rena Shah. I am the VP of Product and Operations at Trust Machines. Trust Machines is the Bitcoin products company. Our goal is to build impactful products that actually onboard 1 billion people into Bitcoin. My journey is a little bit unique. So prior to being here at Trust Machines, I was with Binance US. I ran the entire US exchange operations for 2 years. So everything under the sun of business development and partnerships to core product offerings on the exchange, asset listings, virtually everywhere to get us to go from doing $3 million a day in volume to $3 billion a day by the time I left, and grow to be America's home for crypto. Prior to Binance, I did a variety of different crypto startups. So some on the investment side of operating a hedge fund, to stable coins, to working with a market maker. But my background is really different pre-crypto. I am a petroleum engineer, just like you said. So like my first job out of college was in the oil fields in West Texas, California, Gulf of Mexico. And I legit was a field engineer who spent all day outside drilling oil. And it's a very different perspective coming from a physical commodities world, because I always thought that I understood what a commodity is because I was producing one. And when I started learning about Bitcoin in 2012, 2013, I had like a radical shift of like what value creation means.
Very, very nice. Thank you, Rena. Yeah, fascinating then. So I think it would be useful to learn a little bit more about what a Trust Machines is. So I understand, I think the company was co-founded by Manib from Stacks, right? So maybe just, paint a little bit of a picture of, what Trust Machines is.
Happy to. So Trust Machines is a Bitcoin products company. The best comparison I can give is what Consensus did for Ethereum on building core infrastructure products to spearhead Ethereum. I would say we do the same thing for Bitcoin. So We are building a variety of different products that impact both retail and institutions to actually use Bitcoin and not just hold it. So think about areas of turning Bitcoin into a productive asset. It is the most liquid asset. There's on a given day 800 billion in liquidity in Bitcoin, but no one really thinks about what can I do more with Bitcoin? And that really is our mission. We are co-founded by Munib Ali. He is the co-creator of Stacks. And I would say our vantage point is that we build both on the Bitcoin L1 and the Bitcoin L2's other layers. Stacks is one of them. We build with Lightning as well. And we're pretty agnostic in the way that we build with Bitcoin. For some of our products, we do have a leading non-custodial wallet for Bitcoin. It is Leather. It is a browser and desktop wallet, mobile to be coming soon, and it is your gateway into the world of Bitcoin Web3 through the lens of a really elegant user experience for retail that's simple. I think oftentimes people when you got into Bitcoin, you had to go through a lot of different complicated UIs or products just to get to your seed phrase, to get to your Bitcoin address and such. And so our wallet is really streamlining the experience to make it accessible to all corners of the world. Another product that we're building is called Console. It is a community chat platform. So when I think about Bitcoin as a financial layer, I think of finance being somewhat social. You have communities, ties to finance. And so our platform Console is your all-in-one hub to do secured communications on chain. So our platform supports your Bitcoin identity, like your .btc domain, but you can token gate to a variety of other L1s and L2s as well, or NFTs or Ordinals. And then the third product we're kind of working through, it is still in stealth, but we are building a Bitcoin liquidity protocol. It is important to be able to have liquidity access with your Bitcoin, and people should be able to take loans against their Bitcoin. We've seen this time and time again blow up the previous year from centralized finance. And so we're going back to proper Bitcoin roots of decentralization and transparency with our protocol.
Very good, very good. Yeah, it's really interesting at times, Rena. I'm sure you'll agree. You know, the I guess narrative around Ethereum for a number of years was, you know, programmable money, and you could do so much more on Ethereum. We saw, you know, the DeFi boom, NFTs, and just an incredible excitement around Ethereum. But Ethereum has seemed to just get a little bit bogged down this year with quite a confusing array of different layer twos and different ecosystems. While Bitcoin, as you kind of hinted at, it is now, thanks to the likes of people such as, you know, yourself and the team at Trust Machines and some other teams as well, that actually building out much more new and exciting ways to do things with Bitcoin instead of, as you said, you know, just kind of hold it as an asset. So how do you kind of think about that? It must be quite an exciting time to be spearheading the building on Bitcoin movement.
Absolutely. I think for the longest time, when any of us got into crypto, we probably looked at Bitcoin first. It probably was the first asset that we bought. And then we kind of treated it as a rock because we didn't know what more we could do with our Bitcoin. And that's partially by design. Bitcoin doesn't have smart contracts. It doesn't have a virtual machine. So you didn't really have as much utility on Bitcoin than what you did with EVM, Ethereum. With Ethereum, you have a range of options of dApps to play with, or NFTs to make, DeFi to participate. But for the longest time, Bitcoin didn't have it. But I think there has been a really strong cultural shift of people want utility with Bitcoin. People want to do more than just hold. For a lot of people, Bitcoin has been their safe haven asset, but now they're thinking about, can it be more than our inflationary hedge? And the markets are shifting, the fiat economy for Bitcoin is shifting, and there's so many innovations that you can take to Bitcoin that just barely scratch the surface of opportunity. The way I would kind of look at this is Ethereum has a lot of value in ETH as an asset and Ethereum as a blockchain, but you don't, and you have utility coming forward on, like you were saying, all the layers on top, whether it's Base or Arbitrum or Polygon, and network activity there that creates a flywheel economy. But we need to build it for Bitcoin, and this is the time to do it. With all of the other kind of layer innovations of Bitcoin, we've really only optimized for sending Bitcoin payments cheaply and fastly. But I think there is more to use with Bitcoin as a chain because the chain is so durable. Quite frankly, it is very expensive to hack Bitcoin at 51%. And so we should expand as Bitcoin as the highest value settlement layer, almost as if it is a chain of luxury, more so than just everyday value.
Yeah, that makes sense. And look, you mentioned, I think, the fee market and ordinals, and I suppose, that's ordinals have been a fascinating and controversial part of Bitcoin in 2023, and that looks to remain so in the immediate future. So, of course, ordinals a little bit like Bitcoin NFTs, but slightly different, and they have contributed to a rise in block fees on Bitcoin, which, of course, maybe is not so good if you only have a little bit of Bitcoin and you're sending low value payments. But of course, if you're a Bitcoin miner and thinking for the long term, then the fee market is growing, it seems, at the moment. Love to just get a wrap up on how you see ordinals at the moment and what that's looking like.
So the first comment I would make is ordinals are more than NFTs.
Yes.
I would say when you think of like another chain's NFT, you are creating a piece of text or art-based inscription, and it essentially stores all the metadata, more often than not in like centralized clouds or via AWS, or maybe it's a little bit more decentralized through IPFS. A Bitcoin NFT is fundamentally different. When you make a Bitcoin NFT via ordinals, you are inscribing in the block space, and it is a powerful mechanism. Think of it this way. So long as one Bitcoin node is running, that ordinal will exist for eternity, meaning you can't be taken down, it can't be censored, and you essentially have created a almost too expensive to hack cloud storage just by using the Bitcoin blockchain. And that, to me, via ordinals is one of the most powerful takeaways. And I'll give you an example of how I've used ordinals that are not quite JPEG pieces of art. I had a family member pass away last year, and I wanted to save the voicemails of the voice of that family member. I inscribed every single voicemail that I had so that if iCloud shut down or my Google backups broke, that voice of my family member would live on forever because I run a Bitcoin node. And if you think of it in that terms, ordinals are shifting the mindset of what it means to use block space.
Yeah, I think that's very well said. But it's, I guess you'd say the Bitcoin maxi community, they're a little bit upset sometimes by this, aren't they? I guess from their point 100%. Of view, that they'd rather Bitcoin was simply digital gold, and they don't. They're not so keen on the idea of.
Let them be upset. Let them do as they please. Like, I'd reiterate, there's no CEO of Bitcoin. There is nothing stopping you because it's meant to be open and permissionless, and like you can do whatever you choose to want with Bitcoin. Like, I applaud some of the Ordinals communities like Taproot Wizards really changing the norm of like, can Bitcoin be more than just an investment asset? Can it be a cultural phenomena? Can it be a community? Can we desire change and just go for it from the get-go?
Yeah, and I love that, Taproot Wizards, even if some of it is tongue-in-cheek, it really is about making Bitcoin fun again or bringing the magic back to Bitcoin. And you'd be surprised how far, those kind of memes, if you like, can spread. And it just, opens the chain up to, potentially a wider selection of users, which can only be a good thing.
I'm with you on that. Like I came from Finance US where I've gone through asset listing after asset listing, and it's almost mind numbing that most people still only think of like Web3 as the possibility of like hold a token, let the price go up, get rich quick. But when you think about what you can do more so with the technology of the chain and what value you can create, that's more important. And like, I love that Taproot Wizards is essentially mocking the rest of the world of you can do memes, you can do all of these different things, because at the end of the day, the bigger story is open source technology using blockchain ledgers is more important than a token price going up.
Yes, indeed. And as much as, there's been a lot of interesting building, if you like, and inscribing ordinals on Bitcoin this year, there's a lot going on in, I guess, the other parts of Bitcoin as well. Rena, of course, I'm talking about the next Bitcoin halving, which will take place probably sometime April next year. So that is we'll see a lot of chatter about that next year. Of course, we've also seen a lot of chatter, Rena, about the seems imminent approval of the Bitcoin spot ETFs in the US. So I think it'd be good just to kind of check in as we record today here in New Zealand. It's Thursday, December 21. So just before Christmas. And, Bitcoin is just cruising just a little bit under 40,000 US. But on crypto Twitter, certainly it does feel like it's a done deal that the ETFs are going to happen early in January sometime.
I think you're likely right. Like a spot ETF should have been approved in the US a very long time ago, giving Americans access to invest in Bitcoin via their retirement accounts or other wealth management accounts. That is a no-brainer. That is a non-starter, and that's what should occur in America. I'll say that I might have less of a appreciation opinion for spot ETF, so I'm probably going to get roasted for this one. I am happy that the spot ETF will likely bring price volatility and action to Bitcoin, but I also think a spot ETF might be one of the worst things to happen in Bitcoin in the long run, not in the short term because of the price volatility and where people will be happy about that. But when you think about a spot ETF, what it means is that more Bitcoin will go into custody with custodians, likely banks or things like that, meaning you can't use that Bitcoin for other use cases like in making inscriptions via ordinals or participating in DeFi. And I actually think that's a tragedy that so much Bitcoin from the total addressable market will be locked up in custody untouched.
Yeah, I think, that's a great point, Rena. And it is just, I don't know. It's obviously as the financialization of Bitcoin and access to Bitcoin from people who wouldn't necessarily describe themselves or even wish to be actual Bitcoiners. They just want to get a piece of the price appreciation. But yeah, it's different. But it's just it's bittersweet, isn't it?
It's like at the end of the day, I want Bitcoin to win. So if this is one catalyst that brings mass market of number of users into Bitcoin, then I'm super happy about it. But like you said, it is a little bit bittersweet because that means I can't take Bitcoin-based loans because so many So much of the supply is with custody of a bank, but I hope it actually spurs the banks and other custodians to want to do more innovative things with Bitcoin and try to come together with the product companies like ours to create solutions that allow retail to do more.
Yeah, well, in terms of retail being able to do more, look, I'm sure there's a long way to go with the development of the products, the UI, the UX, and introducing people to the products, getting more people to try them out. But where are we on the journey, I guess, to being able to just do everything from DeFi, NFTs, Ordinals on Bitcoin at scale, I guess, Rena, like any kind of metrics or things that you watch that you can share?
I think we're still pretty nascent and early, but we are making strong headway into like transforming the space. So what I'll say is like metrics, I can provide some from like our wallet. We have over 500,000 downloads and it's growing. So like the daily active user count of people transacting on Bitcoin via L1 or L2 on a daily basis is growing. And there's so much more to do. On the Ordinals front, we've crossed over more than $1 billion in inscriptions, and that's remarkable to be hitting that when Ordinals have only been around for 1 year's worth of time. DeFi, I say, is probably like the most early use case of Bitcoin. Like we are still building out our protocol. It won't launch until Q2 of next year. There has been some strides by other Bitcoin layers. In particular, I would say maybe Sovereign on their solutions as well. But there does require a cultural shift of people wanting to take their Bitcoin out of cold storage in order to participate. And that's going to be a longer narrative play. One stat I will give you is that I believe almost 5% of the global population owns some amount of Bitcoin, which is saying something. We have a long way to go, but 5% is better than zero.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you think it's that high? It's always really hard to judge these things, isn't it? But I think, and you see those charts, the kind of what super early innovators and then early adopters and then the early majority, and it's always where are we on that? But I think 5% sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yes, I would say 5%, like in the idea of like seven and something billion people seems small. But when you kind of break that down further, a good percentage of those are American. We have about 40 to 50 million Americans own Bitcoin. That's a sizable population for America. But the one stat that's always stood out to me is the number of unique holders of Bitcoin, like address holders, is India. So when the world's most populated country is taking a bet on Bitcoin, it's only a matter of time when the rest of the world gets on board.
Yes, I think so too. All right. Well, look, Rena, as we finish up this part of the podcast, just for people that want to look a bit closer at Trust Machines and learn about some of the products you are building, such as the Leather Wallet and so on, Console, the messaging app, where should people go? What should people do?
Visit us on social. It's Trust Machines Co. on X. Our website is trustmachines.co for normal browsing. I'm always available. My Twitter DMs are open, and I love talking to people. I am a bit of a chatty Cathy.
I like it. All right, let's go to a very quick break then, and then we'll come back. We'll have some fun. We'll run Rena through the very famous Crypto Conversation hot take round. Back in 1 second.
Hey, what are you still doing up?
I've just spent my entire Friday night researching Bitcoin charts, crypto glossaries. My brain feels like it's going to explode.
Why don't you just use BitGet? It's going to save you at least 10,000 hours trying to learn it yourself. It's an online crypto exchange. You can copy successful real-life traders having their expertise to make smarter trades.
Really?
Yes, really. Don't miss out. Get on it now. And by the time you're done, Bitcoin will be worth about $100,000.
I just got my cat to help me do the research.
Hands off, gains up. Start copy trading on BitGet.
All right, we are back, and we're with Rena Shah. She's helping to run things at Trust Machines, building out the decentralized Bitcoin economy. Rena, I'd like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid-fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, Rena. Just going to run some questions at you. Just, give us your kind of honest answers, I guess, a hot take style. Question one for you. Where would you say, Rena, that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
Judging by the fact that I came from Binance US, we are strong multi-chainers.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, what about your firmest conviction crypto opinion? What would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion, Rena?
That's actually a pretty good one. I think my famous, the crypto conviction that I go against is HODL. I will spend it freely.
Nice. Well, if you do spend it freely, and that's good to do so, but you just got to keep topping it up, don't you?
You know what? Dollar cost in, get a little bit every single day. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Rena, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. 10 years, it's a long time in Bitcoin development, I guess. But yeah, the Bitcoin economy, Trust Machines, whatever you like, what does it look like in 10 years' time?
I think we are gearing towards the most innovative period of building on Bitcoin. It took, to Bill Gates' point, multiple years to get some of these standards on Bitcoin, like Taproot and SegWit and the block space update. That took a long time, but now the floodgates have been unleashed. People want to do so many different things with Bitcoin. So I think the Bitcoin market in the next 3 years could look wildly different than the last 15.
I like it. Very much agree. All right. Well, William Gibson said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
Ordinals, the future is here. There are memes on the internet on Bitcoin. People don't know that you can do fun things on Bitcoin. So let's go make some magic and make it happen.
I like it. All right, time to start to finish this off. Rena, the final question. What is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
Does E.T. count?
Yeah, E.T. can totally count.
I haven't watched as much science fiction as I care to, but I am pretty strong on the E.T. contingent or the original for Lord of the Rings.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I've seen E.T. for a long time, but
You know what? You gotta go phone home. It's time.
Yeah, E.T. phone home. And I love the kids on the flying BMXs. Just, yeah.
E.T. is iconic. Highly recommend to rewatch every decade. It was a world before our own time.
Nice. My partner's trying to get me to watch Die Hard this week because, of course, Die Hard, classic Christmas movie. But, man, I've seen Die Hard too many times.
What other classic Christmas movie are you watching? Die Hard's pretty good, I have to say.
Well, that's, we haven't come up with another suggestion, so I might have to, just sit down and do the Bruce Willis thing.
Well, keep me posted how it goes.
All right. Hey, this has been a lot of fun talking to you today, Rena. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. Just to close it out, look, please shout out your personal Twitter, the Trust Machines Twitter or X, and of course, the website where people can go to learn more about Trust Machines and so on.
I can be reached at Rena P. Shah on X. Our company handle is Trust Machines CO. If you're in the DMs, it's likely myself or my teammate Brandon who is responding to you, and our website is trustmachines.co. We'd love to hear from you if you want to build on Bitcoin.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rena. All the best, and Merry Christmas, and bye for now.
Merry Christmas. Have a good New Year's.
All right, there you go. That was Rena from Trust Machines. Rena was cool. That was good. So, yeah, fascinating times in Bitcoin. As I say, halving coming, ETFs coming, Ordinals, the debate over, the fee market. Never a dull moment. But hey, if you're listening here at the end of the show, listeners, I probably should just take this opportunity to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and thank you for listening to the podcast this year. Wherever in the world you may be, down in my part of the world, where we're deep into the New Zealand summer now, so hot summer. I know most parts of the world it's more like winter, Christmas, winter. So either way, I guess all I'm trying to say is please do have yourself a fantastic Christmas and holiday season. And make sure you're subscribed to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. Man, there's going to be lots happening in January, of course. If we do get those ETFs approved, it's just going to be a fascinating time. So I'm sure we'll be here pumping out podcasts as the narrative unfolds. All right. Thanks, team. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. See ya.